Let us for a few moments try to think the Divine Lord. Withdraw the mind from all external distractions and focus it on the spiritual ideal you are pursuing. Think of the Divine Spirit who is full of love and compassion. Think of Him with full concentration so that you feel immense peace and joy. Hari Om Tat Sat. Om Stapakaya Dharmasya Sarvadharma Swarupine Stapakaya Dharmasya Sarvadharma Swarupine Avatara Varishtaya Ramakrishna Yate Namah Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityormamritangamaya Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Let us bow down to Sri Ramakrishna, the embodiment of all religions. The Supreme Incarnate. Let us pray to Him to lead us from the unreal to the real, to lead us from the darkness of ignorance to the light of knowledge, to lead us from death to immortality. On Tuesdays we are studying Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. We have come to chapter 29. Sri Ramakrishna has given very practical instructions on spiritual practices to be done. You have to go deep in spiritual life to experience the spiritual joy. Then it means you must follow the methods very meticulously. Every day you must start the life with intense feeling. Today the day is dawned. I must be spiritual throughout this day. Repeat this for a few times, more concentratedly, so that they go into the deep layers of the mind. And then you feel the whole day, how you are guided by that initial thought current. God has given this body. He has given the mind. He has given the heart. He has given the brain. Why? What's the purpose of this? Why you are to pass through this body-mind complex? It is not without reason that you have taken this human body. The very fact you have got this most fantastic instrument reveals the indescribable grace of God. The purpose of this human body is very specifically stated. This body is for the sake of loving God. You have come into this body to express yourself totally. Love. You are born to love, not to hate. Be very definite about it. Then it becomes very easy. All your spiritual practices are done with this purpose of expressing pure love. That's the idea of telling purification of the heart. The heart is full of impurities, unwanted, unpleasant, dreadful. Thoughts are there in the mind. An account of terrible anti-spiritual impressions in the mind. You are not able to experience spiritual joy. You are constantly pulled by stress and strain on account of the impurities in the mind. So, the purpose of practices is to purify oneself. Be conscious about this fact. Then you are not bothered by any things that might happen in the course of your activities in your daily life. So, two important instruments. One is heart. The function of the heart is to express itself in love and devotion. And there is another important, equally important instrument, that is brain. It has got its tremendous function, and that is analyzing, discriminating what is wrong, what is right, what is good, what is bad. So the discriminating faculty is a function of the brain. That means you have to utilize the brain properly. That means you must take steps so that the brain functions in the right way. That means you must constantly engage yourself in analyzing things around you. Always it must be discriminating. Take what is good, reject what is bad. So, then only it is possible to purify your heart. Unless the heart is purified, unless the heart becomes transparent, you cannot have the spiritual joy. God vision and spiritual joy go together. In the Gospel, chapter 29, which I am reading every Tuesday, one of the devotees, Bhavanath, he asked Sri Ramakrishna very humbly, Master, I feel disturbed if I have a misunderstanding with someone. I feel that in that case I am not able to love all, because mind is agitated. The hate feeling has gone into the mind. As long as that hate feeling is there, it will not allow you to cultivate love. So what's to be done? What he says is true. When you meet with people, when you work with them, there are many occasions which cause the disturbance of the mind. It is not unnatural. But herein comes the function of the brain. Don't yield to the things that might occur, but try to discriminate properly. Be strong enough to face the things, situations. Sri Ramakrishna replied him, well, you said you are disturbed because of some misunderstanding with somebody. Sri Ramakrishna is giving the prescription here. What you should do, try at the outset to talk to him and establish friendly relationship with him. That is to say, clear off the misunderstanding. Of course, it is possible only when you are not egoistic. If you are very proud of yourself, oh, why should I go and talk to that? That attitude will make you more stubborn. From the spiritual point of view, it is not good. If you fail, in spite of your efforts, Sri Ramakrishna is telling, then don't give it another thought. What you should do? Take refuge in God. Meditate on Him. Go and sit in front of God. Always feel God is fully present. He is most lovable and He is your everything. Believe it totally. Even you may call it blind faith, doesn't matter. Don't care for that. First you believe, do it properly. Then in course of time, the results will show you whether it is blind faith or it is faith that has led to love of God. There is no use in giving up God and feeling depressed from thinking about others. Mind always wants to think of others. So, it is constantly getting distracted. So you must immediately direct your mind, well, I should not think all sorts of things. My prime thinking is thinking of God. So anything that comes on the way should be totally discarded with scorn. Don't give any importance. Your importance must be how concentratedly, how intensely you think of God. That's very important. Sri Ramakrishna said further, love you must. Mark the word must, because God dwells in all beings. But then there are so many varieties of people. Each one is different, with different qualities. Sri Ramakrishna tells again, suppose you come across a wicked person, don't get into confrontation. Salute him from a distance. Suppose a man cannot make another love him. Must he worry about it day and night? Oh, I tried my best, still that person is not showing any kind of love. Why do you bother like that? Must I waste my mind which should be given to God on such useless things? One will have to do steadily the spiritual practices. When you do the practices steadily, you will be endowed with knowledge and devotion. Don't think they come by themselves. You have to earn everything. You have got it by your hard efforts, by hard struggles, by your constant fight against the negative forces. Then you will see how your heart will overflow with love and sympathy for mankind. That's the way of spiritual growth. No word of condemnation should come from your mouth. You should not disregard anyone in this creation. That's the growth of spirituality. That's the test of your spiritual love. Simply talking love, 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 but in your action you behave in different way. Now, if you cherish intense love for God, even thinking in that direction, devotedly, wholeheartedly, sincerely, the mind will remain always tranquil, and you feel the effect of purity. You feel that effect. Swami Brahmanandaji, one of the great disciples of Sri Ramakrishna, he said, well, how do you expect faith and love to grow without dispassion towards the world? You must have dispassion, vairagya. Don't let loose your mind recklessly in the pursuit of worldly things. If you allow your mind to run in that direction, naturally you will not have the experience of spiritual joy. Naturally you will not have peace of mind. Naturally you will be constantly disturbed, and you will be in tension. Sometimes you may express, sometimes you may not express, but it remains in your heart like a tumor. The more you allow the tumor to stay in your heart, it becomes strong, it becomes malignant. So, be extremely careful to handle your mind, your brain in the proper way, without divine attachment, without divine love. Mind becomes dry, mind becomes restless. Prayer, meditation, and the practice of spiritual disciplines, they are the austerities. These austerities are meant for developing love towards God. That's the sole purpose of all this regimentation, of all these rules. Don't forget, the purpose of all spiritual practice is to express that love. That love can manifest in the heart when the heart is totally freed from impurities such as anger, lust, greed, jealousy, hatred. Why did God create us? There's a special purpose. In order we may have Him. Through singing His name and praise and thus praying to Him, we can cultivate love of God. Cultivation. It's possible. Swami Premanand, another great disciple, he said, once a man wanted to have prem, means intense love for God. Just then he saw a vendor passing in the street with a basket on his head. He was crying, "Oh, here is prem. Who wants it? Who would buy it?" That vendor is crying. Hearing this, some boys, children, they cried out, "Oh, let us eat prem." It's a sweet. The name of the sweet is called prem. Some older ones also called out, "Indeed, we want prem." At this, the vendor lowered the basket from his head and he said, "Well, let me know how much prem each of you will have. I sell it by weight. How much do you want? A pound, you say? With this he drew out a sharp knife. Here, give me your head, and I shall return you as much prem as your head weighs. If you want prem, this is the price you must pay. Your head. Verily, never has spirituality been attained by mummery, by empty words. Sacrifice. Terrible sacrifice of one's own life is the price for it. Do you want to have love? Be prepared to sacrifice. That's the price. Great disciple. They are all standing there behind the chapel. Each one is great. Disciples of Sri Ramakrishna. Swami Chidananda, he said, one thing you must strive for without let up. You are to work unceasingly so that your love for God, without growing dim, becomes more and more close, more and more intense, and your relationship with God becomes more and more deep. If you can make Him your very own, He will see to your welfare and never let you down. And then he said, knowledge must unite with devotion. And this unity must be expressed through action. Knowledge without love is dry. Love without service is pure sentimentalism. You are to watch whether your love for God is increasing day by day. You have to watch that. This must be your aspiration and aim. See, when you do spiritual practices, if you do them consciously, then they won't become mechanical. Do them consciously, lovingly. The more you think of others as yourself, the more loving your heart becomes, and the more is self-knowledge revealed. God is love. As He loves everyone, so should we love all created beings. The function of the heart is love and devotion, and that of the brain is to discriminate between good and bad. This love and this discrimination have to be combined for the experience of God vision. As you think, so you act. As thoughts of love help in expanding the self, so do the thoughts of anger and jealousy lead to its contraction. Expansion is love, contraction is death. Well, let us try to utilize our mind and brain properly so that we cherish real love towards God. If you develop cultivating that love, all other negative forces will be wiped away without any trace. Chapter 29, 572. Bhavanath said humbly, I feel disturbed if I have a misunderstanding with someone. I feel that in that case I am not able to love all. Master said, try at the outset to talk to him and establish a friendly relationship with him. If you fail in spite of your efforts, then don't give it another thought. Take refuge in God, meditate on Him. There is no use in giving up God and feeling depressed from thinking about others. Bhavanath said, Great souls such as Christ and Chaitanya have admonished us to love all beings. Master said, love you must, because God dwells in all beings, but salute a wicked person from a distance. You speak of Chaitanya, he also used to restrain his spiritual feeling in the presence of unsympathetic people. At Shivasa's house, he put Shivasa's mother-in-law out of the room, dragging her out by the hair. Bhavanath said, it was not he, but others who did it. Sri Ramakrishna said, could the others have done it without his approval? What can be done? Suppose a man cannot make another love him, must he worry about it day and night? Must I waste my mind, which should be given to God, on useless things? I say, oh mother, I don't want Narendra, Bhavanath, Rakhal or anybody. I seek thee alone. What shall I do with man? When the blissful mother comes to my house, how much of the Chandi I shall hear? How many monks will come here? And how many yogis with matted locks? When I attain God, I shall attain everything. I renounced gold and silver, saying, rupee is clay and clay is rupee. Gold is clay and clay is gold. With these words I threw gold, silver and clay into the Ganges. Then I was afraid at the thought that Mother Lakshmi might be angry with me because I had treated her wealth with contempt, that she might even drop my meals, even stop my meals. So I prayed to the Divine Mother, O Mother, I want thee and nothing else. I knew that by realizing her, I should get everything. Bhavanath said smilingly, this is the shrewd calculation of a businessman. Master said smilingly, yes, that is so. Once the Lord was pleased with a certain devotee, he appeared before him and said, I am very much pleased with your austerities, ask a boon of me. The devotee said, O Lord, if you are gracious enough to give me a boon, then please grant that I may eat from gold plates with my grandchildren. One boon covered many things, wealth, children and grandchildren. All laugh. Hazra was sitting on the veranda. Master said, do you know what Hazra wants? He wants money. His family is in distress. He has debts. He thinks that God will give him money because he devotes himself to japa and meditation. A devotee said, can't God fulfill a devotee's desire? Master replied, if it is his sweet will. But God doesn't take entire responsibility for a devotee unless the devotee is completely intoxicated with ecstatic love for him. At a feast it is only a child whom one takes by the hand and seats at his place. Who does that with older people? Not until a man thinks so much of God that he cannot look after himself does God take on his responsibilities. Hazrat doesn't inquire about his family. His son said to Ramlal, please ask father to come home. We shall not ask anything of him. These words almost brought tears to my eyes. Hazrat's mother said to Ramlal, please ask Pratap to come home just once. Also, ask your uncle to request him to come home. I told him about it, but he did not listen to me. Is a mother to be trifled with? Before becoming a sannyasi, Chaitanya Deva worked hard to persuade his mother to let him renounce home. Mother Shachi said that she would kill Keshav Bharati. Chaitanya Deva did his utmost to persuade her. He said, Mother, I shall not renounce home if you won't let me. But if you compel me to lead a householder's life, I shall die. And mother, even if I go away as a sannyasi, You will be able to see me whenever you desire. I shall stay near you. I shall see you every now and then. Only when Chaitanya explained it to her, thus did she give her permission. Narada could not go to the forest to practice austerity as long as his mother was alive. He had to take care of her. After her death, he went away to realize God. When I went to Vrindavan, I felt no desire to return to Calcutta. It was arranged that I should live with Ganga Ma. Everything was settled. My bed was to be on one side and Ganga Ma's on the other. I resolved not to go back to Calcutta. I said to myself, how long must I eat a Kaivarta's food? No, said Hriday to me, let us go to Calcutta. He pulled me by one hand and Gangama pulled me by the other. I felt an intense desire to live at Vrindavan, but just then I remembered my mother. That completely changed everything. She was old. I said to myself, my devotion to God will take to wings if I have to worry about my mother. I would rather live with her, then I shall have peace of mind and be able to meditate on God. We should stop there. So, any questions to ask? It is true, but if you understand that the whole thing is a game, then you are not bothered by the reactions, whatever, in the world. But to have that feeling that everything is God's play, you need certain purification of the heart to understand that. Because otherwise it will be simply we are talking, but in effect we are different. So when the depression comes, all our discriminating faculty stops functioning and we are not able to raise up our spirits and we are not able to understand the reality and so on. Because what happens is ordinarily we are all attached intensely to the body and the senses, and we are involved in all sorts of sensuous pleasures in the world, which generally make us lose our balance. That means we totally become unconscious about the real nature of ourself. We even disregard the presence of God, and we think world to be more real. We think world to be real, God unreal. We think wrong as good, good as wrong. All these things will come. So, one has to practice certain amount of spiritual disciplines. Then only awakening will come. Then he will able to interpret whatever things happen. It's all divine play. It's a joy to watch this play. Then you enjoy the fun. Before that, no, you can't enjoy the fun, though it's a fact. That's the point. Sri Ramakrishna himself tells, no doubt, every page, it's all Leela. This world is Leela Kshetra. Chant the name of the Lord and His glory unceasingly, that the mirror of the heart may be wiped clean and quench that mighty forest fire, worldly lust, raging furiously within. O name, stream down in moonlight on the lotus heart, opening its cup to knowledge of thyself. O self, drown deep in the waves of His bliss, tasting His nectar at every step, bathing in His name, that bath for weary souls. Various are thy names, O Lord, In each and every name thy power resides. No times are set, no rites are needful for chanting of thy name. So vast is thy mercy, how huge then is my wretchedness, who find in this empty life and heart no devotion to thy name. O my mind, be humbler than a blade of grass, be patient and forbearing like a tree. Take no honor to thyself, give honor to all. Chant unceasingly the name of the Lord. O Lord and soul of the universe, mine is no prayer for wealth or retinue, the playthings of lust or the toys of fame. As many times as I may be reborn, grant me, O Lord, a steadfast love for Thee. A drowning man in this world's fearful ocean is Thy servant, O sweet one. In Thy mercy, consider him as dust beneath Thy feet. Oh, how I long for the day when an instant's separation from Thee, O Lord, will be as 1,000 years, when my heart burns away with its desire, and the world without Thee is a heartless void. Prostrate at Thy feet let me be, in unwavering devotion, neither imploring the embrace of Thine arms, nor bewailing the withdrawal of Thy presence, though it tears my soul asunder. O Thou who stillest the hearts of Thy devotees, do with me what Thou wilt, for Thou art my heart's beloved, Thou and Thou alone. O Lord, lead us from the unreal to the real, lead us from darkness to light, and lead us from death to immortality. May all be free from dangers, may all realize what is good, may all be actuated by noble thoughts, may all rejoice everywhere. May all be happy, may all be free from disease, may all realize what is good, may none be subject to misery. May the wicked become virtuous, may the virtuous attain tranquility, may the tranquil be free from bonds, may the freed make others free. May good betide all people, may the sovereign righteously rule the earth, may all beings ever attain what is good, may the worlds be prosperous and happy. May the clouds pour rain in time, may the earth be blessed with crops, may all countries be freed from calamity, may holy men live without fear. May the Lord, the destroyer of sins, the deciding deity of all sacred works, be satisfied, for He being pleased, the whole universe becomes pleased. He being satisfied, the whole universe feels satisfied.